Tressa. Welcome back to my channel. So glad you're here. Well, it is pretty hot here in Louisiana. So I found some strawberries on sale the other day. And if you're in the mood for chocolate, this is the right video for you. I've never tried this recipe. It's a no-bake chocolate tart. I'm adapting this recipe from Home Cooking Adventure. I love her channel. And I'm changing up the chocolate a little bit, but it's something I can use the strawberries in, and I think it's gonna be pretty and delicious. It's very easy, so let's get started. And I just wanted to do a video and share something that's no-bake. I have a no-bake cheesecake I want to make too, but I don't know if I can make two videos at once. We can't eat that much sugar. Anyway, let me stop rambling and let's get started. Crust is an Oreo crust, which is just Oreos and butter. And you leave the cream inside, but you need about 30 to 32 Oreos. And I think it's a pretty thick crust. But this is the first time I'm making it. And I'm gonna grind this up, but I'll turn the camera off because it's very loud. Ground up pretty fine. Oh, there's a piece. That looks pretty good. And you need half a cup of butter. I'm using salted butter because I find it's gonna be really sweet. And I love to use salted butter in some of my desserts. And you could use unsalted butter if you want to. I don't even think it specifies which butter. But this is gonna make it come together pretty well. I'm gonna show you how loud this is. And all you need is just a wet sand. And that's it. So let's move it to the tart pan. Tart pan, it's a 5 by 14 inch. I had this pan a long time ago and I thought it was so cute and I never got to use it. Now I'm probably gonna make a mess trying to pour these into this little tart pan. I don't know if it's the same as using a 9 inch. I also like to make individual tarts. That's fun too. I have I think this is gonna be pretty thick. So if you want to use less, you can. And I think she might have baked it. I think baking it might make it stay together a little bit better. I think this might be too much for me. I might have to make another little individual tart, not spilled. Yeah, this is not, that's what I like. Sometimes I just like to not follow recipes. I'm gonna press it at the sides. I got too much over here. Scoot it down. So I'm just gonna press it in with a measuring cup. You could use a little glass. It's kind of, I should have sprayed it or something. I might have to use my hands. If you wanted to bake this, you could bake it at 350 for about 8 to 10 minutes. Or you can also put it in the freezer. My tart's very uneven. I'm a little off today, I apologize, guys. But we have to eat some chocolate and strawberries. I was gonna make another strawberry cake video because I just love strawberry cakes. And I've never made a strawberry. Yeah, you know what? I have a chocolate strawberry cake on my channel. But if you did not see my last video, I'm gonna change the title. I made that, it's called a farmhouse buttermilk cake, but it really needs to be called delicious buttermilk cake with a kind of like a pecan praline topping. That cake is so good and doesn't require a lot of ingredients. And that's probably one of the best cakes I've ever made. And it was just so simple. This is taking me a long time. I don't know if I should add the rest of the Oreos or make little tarts. I have to put some over here because I'm a little And I've never used this Tart pen before. You know, you just use your own judgment. If you like a really thick Oreo crust. This is pretty thick. But I mean, who doesn't like Oreos? And you could use your own. I'll put her recipe in the description because, you know, I never follow recipes exactly. Y'all know how I am. And you kind of want to just use what you have and use your favorite chocolate combinations. I'm having trouble with this corner right over here. All right. A little bit more right here. Oh, I got it on my pan. You know, I hope you can see how I'm just, I want the sides to be kind of thick as well, not just the bottom. I like the sides to have a little. So I guess I am going to use all of it. Try to, I hope it doesn't crumble when I cut it. I'm going to put mine in the freezer actually. And that'll make the butter hard and it'll make it set. I think my little spatula might work better. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want it to be so thick my chocolate doesn't fit in here. All right, so that's the crust, and I made a mess. I'm gonna set this in the freezer, and then I'll show you what chocolate I'm gonna use and how we're gonna melt it. Put that in the freezer, and I had to move this out of the way. My husband and I watched a lot of videos from Korea, and they have frozen like little garlic cubes. And you know how I love to use fresh garlic and I like to chop a lot at a time. Well, we had some that needed to be used. So my husband came up with that. Well, I came up with the idea of the little rat silicone mold that Ella asked me to get years ago. But we put just a tiny bit of water on top and then we're gonna pop it out. If it pops out. And now we have little garlic rats for our food. The tail didn't come out. See? You can see that. Anyway, just thought I'd share that little tip with you. If you like to use fresh garlic and chop a bunch at one time, you can do it. Here's the recipe. Let me show it to you. She uses 7 ounces of milk chocolate, 3.5 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. I'm going to use 8 ounces of milk chocolate. And I have some bittersweet chips. And that's about 2 ounces, I guess. So basically, and they have recipes on the back of these boxes, by the way, and I've never done one. So I'm just going to open this, and it's a little messy. And I'll probably chop it up pretty small so it melts faster. I have 7 ounces of heavy cream that I'm going to heat up on the stove. And you could add a little salt to it if you want to, a little vanilla if you wanted to. The strawberries are going to give it a little tartness. So basically, I'm just going to take this chocolate and top it up, and then we'll go to the stove and heat the heavy cream. Pretty fun. I'll tell you how I'm going to get it up with this thing. This thing is, you can use it for a lot of things besides just dough. I'm just going to put it in this bowl. I might have to get a bigger bowl. Also, I wanted to say, you know, a lot of times I find chocolate bars, and in good chocolate, you know, there's a lot fancier chocolates in Ghirardelli that people, like Anna Gordon, I think she uses one that starts with a C. There's one called Verona that are good melting chocolates. I find this one is easily available for people, and this makes a better ganache than chocolate chips. It just melts smoother. So this is what it looks like. I am going to get a bigger bowl, and then we'll have to heat the heavy cream up. Here's my little pot, and here's 7 ounces of heavy cream. It doesn't almost look like it's not enough, but it's going to be pretty thick. And you don't want it to come up to a boil, but you do want it to come up to a simmer where it's kind of, which means it's bubbling around the edge. And when. So I'm just going to do this. It won't take long on my stove. And once you pour the heavy cream, you want to let it sit for like a minute to really start melting the chocolate, and then you're going to start whisking it. So when it comes up to a simmer, I'll bring you back. It's hot, almost too hot. So I'm just going to pour it in here. And it's really hot. Have my whisk ready. I'll tell you what, I have some graham cracker crumbs, and they have a little toffee in them, and I didn't use all of them one day. So my leftover Oreo crumb, I'm just gonna put in here. It'll be like a original graham cracker crust recipe. Probably tastes really good. Those Oreos are messy. So I'll let this sit for a minute, and then we'll give it a whisk, stir. To add it a pinch of salt, I'm gonna add just a tiny pinch of vanilla bean paste, just like maybe that was a fourth or a half a teaspoon. I just have to because I love that stuff. Whisking. I don't think you have to use a whisk. So I hope everybody's doing well. It's been raining here every day. And then the humidity makes it feel 1,000 times hotter. But, I mean, it's just how the summertime is here. You get used to it, I guess, or stay inside a lot. I usually try to do my shopping in the morning before it gets too hot. That looks good. I just wanted to make it smooth. Let's see if I can fit it in here. I'm gonna get a spatula. Sometimes I do recipes that I've never tested before, and sometimes I do recipes that are tried and true. But I mean, no-bake desserts are so good in the summertime, and chocolate and strawberries just sounded really, really nice. And also, the Tart's not humongous, so it'll fit in my refrigerator. It's not a lot of room for stuff. Like I said, you could use, another combination I like is bittersweet chocolate with white chocolate. I like that combination. Now, here's some strawberries that we cleaned and cut in half. Now you could sit and try to pick out the prettiest ones. I am gonna try to find some pretty ones, but I want it to just sit in the chocolate, and you just space them out however you like. And if you don't like strawberries, you could always put cherries. I have some beautiful frozen cherries that I haven't decided what to do with yet. This is a big one right here. Yeah, this is very full. I'm trying to get about the same size. So I won't make you watch this whole process. I'm gonna try to space this out, and then I'll bring you back. Always follow your gut instinct, and I had a feeling this crust was too thick. So my chocolate overflowed a little bit, but that's okay. You wanna let this sit for 2 hours in the refrigerator. I might cheat and put mine in the freezer for a little while, but this is it. And you could put more strawberries if you want, nuts if you want, but I kinda wanna keep mine just simple. But I am kind of disappointed that I didn't realize that strawberries are gonna make the chocolate hide the crust on this side, but that's okay. It's still gonna be delicious, and it'll still be pretty. So when it sets up, we'll try to pop it out and cut a slice and taste it. It's the next day. I wanted the Tart to sit in the refrigerator overnight, and it was a little anyway, I thought I would show you how I'm going to try to get it out of the pan so you won't miss any bloopers. A little bit, but it looks like it might work because you can take out the bottom and there's chocolate all over the side. Now I kind of tilted it when I was trying to place it in my refrigerator. So let me just repair that. You could even put a little glaze over your strawberries, like, you know, like if you melt a little apple jelly. But anyway, I'm going to leave it on the bottom. I'm going to put it on this. I'm trying to find a place where I could take a picture of it, guys, because it's going to be delicious. So let me take a picture of it and I'll be right back. To use some of my mint that I'm growing outside. I just did that for the picture. You can eat it if you want to. Let's see. I'm just gonna actually cut it. I probably didn't place my strawberries this way. I've never made a tart in this in this kind of pan before. We went outside to take the picture and it's already melting. You probably want to try to cut the strawberries, but you don't want a really big piece of this because this is pure chocolate. And it's very hot and humid here today. So I'm just going to take, and let's look at the crust. See, the crust is quite thick. So I would not put that many Oreos in. I wouldn't, but you know, it depends on if you like the crust that thick. And you just cut it in little pieces. But I definitely want to keep this refrigerated because it's, I'm gonna move that. And we won't be able to eat the pieces this big. It's because it's so rich. So anyway, let me wash my hands and let me take a little bite. Okay, it's kind of early, so I'm gonna take a small bite. And you can use whatever chocolate combination you like. It's a very thick crust, but I mean, who doesn't love Oreos? And I love the milk chocolate. Now it's very sweet, but that doesn't bother me in desserts. Some people it does. If you wanted it less sweet, I would add more bittersweet chocolate to the milk chocolate. But I love the smoothness and the sweetness. I was really wondering if the Oreo crust would go well with this chocolate, and it does. This is outstanding. But you probably don't need as much chocolate or as much Oreos if you use this kind of pan, the 5x14. Maybe a round tart pan. Anyway, this was fun to make. The strawberries were on sale, and it was fun to make. And I wanted to make a no-bake dessert for summer. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll put the recipe, her recipe, I guess, underneath the video. I don't put the recipe, I'm sorry, the ingredients. But thank you so much for watching, guys. You always are such a blessing to me. Leave your comments, and if you have any questions about what I did, just let me know, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you, bye.